Greetings and welcome to Pinball Help. Mike here. Today I am working on a short little one-shot pinball review of the brand new Stern Jurassic Park pinball machine. What I have here is the Jurassic Park Pro. We're running a very early version of the code because we've got the game pretty early in its release. That's 0.87. So there's
You know anybody who can network 8 connection machines and debug 2 million lines of code for what I bid for this job?
Not me. Anyway, so we're going to go over this game. I'm going to give you just a first impression. I've been playing it for a couple of days. I don't know the rule set completely, but I'm going to give you what I've kind of learned about it, and you can just kind of follow along with me and get a little bit of an introduction into what this game is and how it works. It's designed by Keith Elwin, who is largely regarded as one of the best competitive pinball players in the world. So most of us are very excited that are into the, really good quality playing and playfield dynamics. We like these high-end players that get their hands on these machines and make designs like this. So they're going to be fun, very challenging. And this game is no exception. So I would say this is an interesting game. This is much different from Keith's first design, which was Iron Maiden, which was a machine that he worked on his own under the game Archer that he made with Stern when he was hired by them. This is it's a little bit of a tighter game. It's a little bit more challenging. It's a little bit more of a tactical game. There's a lot of interesting things going on. There's some great flow in this game. In the early code version, it's a little more stop and go than I imagine it probably will be once it gets fine-tuned. I've got the Pro version here. The Premium version just has a few extra little differences. There's a gate that pops up right over here over the Raptor pen, and then the T-Rex head is animated in the Premium and the LE. But basically, it's one solid game design, and it's pretty interesting. Another thing about the Jurassic Park is there's very little of the original IP in it. From what I understand, they had to design their own truck that's different from the Jurassic Park truck because I don't know if they didn't get permission or something. And there's very little of the voice talent from the original thing other than the Nedry character. And I don't know if the other characters are actually in the movie or they're just voice actors that are copying them. But Stern's been, lately been kind of phoning it in when it comes to licensing IP. They'll get the title of something and then they'll not use a lot of the original actors. It's probably much more economical for them to do that. And so they catch a lot of heat for this because, people complain about anything. But, when they did Ghostbusters, they didn't really get any of the main Ghostbuster character voices in it to do anything custom. And the same situation has happened with this, too. But I'm here to talk about the gameplay. I think the theme is okay. It's really well integrated. The artwork is beautiful. The computer animations are not too bad. I think they could be better, but they're certainly, a far improvement from some of Stern's earlier titles like Aerosmith. So let's should I jump in or should I just talk about the playfield? Let's go over a little bit about the basic elements of the playfield here. This game, you have your standard in lanes and out lanes. You have your flippers. There's 3 flippers. There's also one right up here. There's a lot of shots on this game. A lot of interesting shots, too. You have oh! I started the game. That's not good. Let me stop that, okay? I'm going to just stop it for a second. Okay, so, there's a lot of shots on this game. There's a lot of tight shots, too. You have a few of these. You have a right orbit and the left orbit that's up here. The left orbit is accessible only from the upper flipper. You have a left ramp and a right ramp. The right ramp is the Raptor thing, and the left ramp is called the T-Rex shot. You also have a shot right up the center, which is the spinner shot, which can either go to the right orbit outside, or it can be diverted into the pop bumpers up here. Now, when you shoot the ball into play, it goes through this little, they call them half pipes, I guess, where it reverses the ball up top. And it flips the ball around onto this little Habitrail, which feeds it to the right in lane. So when you pitch the ball into play, you basically send it to the right flipper. You can short plunge it and drop it down and possibly get to a different flipper too. And there, as is common now, there's a whole bunch of super secret skill shots in the game, and I'll go over a few of them. And so you've got a couple of targets here that relate to playfield multiplier scoring, and there's a target over here which lights what's called escape, which is an outlane saver for the left outlane, which, as you'll see, is really important because this game is a hard game. There's a lot of drains in this, especially with these outlanes, because there's a lot of shots to shoot for, and if you miss the shots, they almost always are going to send them to the slingshots. And the slingshots, if the ball starts doing its lateral movement here, it's really bad news for you. So, in addition to the ramps and the orbits, you have a couple of other interesting shots. You have this other left shot that looks like it's an orbit, but it actually flips around up to this habit trail and feeds to the left flipper. And I'm not sure what that shot is called. And then you also have the Raptor, the containment pen here. I forget what this is called. But anyway, this is the control room or something like that. You shoot this with a Raptor pen, and that's the pterodactyl shot or something, right? The pterodon. So yeah, Raptor to pterodon. So this is it's a little shot. You shoot it in here, and this starts a Raptor multi-ball feature that you have. And then you've got this far left shot, which just goes up here and drops, and there's a little pin that can hold the ball in there. You also have a far right shot over here, which is the reverse of the shot into the from the shooter lane. So you could shoot this far right shot, and it will feed to the in lane. In addition to that, there's a couple stand-up targets around here. There's a stand-up target over here, which is kind of like Comic Book Guy in Simpsons, but this is called the supply drop, and that's one of the random awards that you can get in the game. There's some stand-up targets I think that you hit that are lit in blue. When you do that, it qualifies the supply drop. There's also one of the really cool features in this game is this little truck here in the middle. This truck flips back and forth. It's attached to a ball that's attached to another ball, and it's called, a Newton ball, where you hit it and it transfers the energy to the other thing, and it makes the truck flip. So the truck can be facing to the left or to the right. When it's facing to the right, it opens up this lane over here a little bit more, and that's a shot straight into the pop bumpers. And there's a target there called the amber target. That is also the target that you shoot for a missile attack and to start chaos multi-ball. If you hit this thing and the truck flips around the other way, it slightly obscures that shot. It's still makeable, but it's much, much tighter. So it's pretty interesting. If you want to make a shot on the pop bumpers, that's the easiest way to get the ball into the pops. But depending upon how the truck is facing, it can be a lot harder. The truck also has a number of interesting features. The truck, depending upon which way it's facing, will affect different things in the game. Different modes, different jackpot shots, all of that. And I'll go into that in a moment. And I think that's most of the basic settings of the game, and the shots. You have your upper flipper here, and you've got a whole bunch of different shots that you can shoot with it. This is a very fast game, and if you dial in these ramp and orbit shots, you can make some really impressive combinations. And it's pretty amazing to just see somebody play well and flip the ball upside down, around, over. It's really, really cool. There's a lot of very, very satisfying shots. There's also quite a number of pretty tight shots that are very hard to hit. And, it can be frustrating. I was watching the people at Stern when they were playing this game, and there was lots of balls just bouncing off things all over the place. And these were like the high-end guys. So, it's going to take some time to dial this thing in and make the shots. It's not that easy, especially this right orbit shot is very tight, and the right ramp shot is pretty tight. And as you'll see in some of these modes, you need to make some of these very difficult shots in order to progress. So I predict that casual players that aren't very experienced might find this game a little more frustrating. It's not as approachable as some of the more recent games like Munsters or Iron Maiden or Deadpool. This is a game that if you just bat the ball around on, I don't think you can do nearly as well. You really gotta know what you're doing. It's hard to accidentally start some of the multi-ball modes. You really have to be tactical about it. Now there is one multi-ball mode that's fairly easy to do, and I'm gonna go into some of the modes now. Maybe I should just start the game and then I'll talk about it while the game is going. So let's do that. So, I'm going to short plunge. You'll see there's a blinking red and white triangle shot. That's the most obvious skill shot. You'll see these white triangles also. Each one of those spots a map letter, M-A-P. When you spell map, you qualify one of the paddock modes. And you'll see in the center here, there's a map. I forgot to put the time plunger on. So let's go for... See, hard to get some of those shots. So there's our T-Rex shot. Here's our second one. So we started our paddock mode.
Control! What's going on?
M was
I've lost
spotted.
control of the system.
So now this is the main mode where you have to rescue people.
It's the whole park.
So I'm going to be shooting for the lit rescue things. And that's how you rescue a person.
Shift the suit drift targets.
DNA collected.
So I just collected a DNA. And a DNA is awarded for certain combinations. I don't know what those combos are, but I must have hit something in a certain order and was awarded one of the DNA bonuses. That'll carry through the rest of the game. So now I've started a paddock mode, and you'll see the green thing here is blinking. Depending upon which direction the truck is facing, that determines which of these next paddocks I go for. So when I complete this one, if the truck is facing left, I go to the middle, which is an orange one, or I go to the right, which is a yellow one. And what the colors indicate the types of dinosaurs, whether they're aggressive, what other features they have. The herbivorous dinosaurs, what happens is you'll see the green triangle, that's the dinosaur. And
Super skill shot.
game is
I'll have the
fast.
system save you.
So I can't talk, and I should have turned the ball's thing off. So let's just jump in with some of the paddock modes. You try to rescue the people with the lit orange triangles, and then at the end you capture the dinosaurs by hitting the set trap button, and then on some of the later modes you have to shoot this helicopter, the helipad. Oh, wow.
Get back in there.
I just spelled a chaos letter. Alright, so the T-Rex mode is qualified, if I can get it right now. Oh! See how the T-Rex is counting down. So this will start T-Rex multi-ball. Some pretty nice animation here. This is a 2-ball multi-ball. This is the easiest one to get to. You basically bash the truck to spell T-Rex and then shoot that left ramp to start T-Rex again. Wow. Horrible.
Jackpot. Control
left.
room ready.
It's hard to talk and play this game at the same time. So, what happened? What was I doing? It's hard to follow this. The game is so fast and there's so many things going on that it's hard to kind of talk and say, here's what you need to shoot for. So, let me try to just cover a few of the basics. And then I'll play one game and then I'll kind of wrap the video up. So, the main multi-ball modes are T-Rex multi-ball and Chaos multi-ball. T-Rex, you just bash the truck, spell T-Rex, and then shoot the ramp. It's a 2-ball multi-ball, standard jackpot shots and all that. There's apparently a lot of other things that you can do with that as far as to maximize your score, but I'm not going to go into them because a lot of them I'm not completely familiar with yet. The main real lucrative multi-ball is Chaos multi-ball. And you do that by spelling Chaos, C-H-A-O-S. And you have to shoot them in order. So you got your C, H, A, O, and S. And when you do that, then it lights Chaos up here when you shoot that target, and it starts I think a 3-ball multi-ball where the add-a-ball is hitting the pop bumpers. And after X number of pops, it adds another ball and adds another ball. And you can get it up to a 6-ball multi-ball, and it just becomes really crazy. And that's a real fun one to get, but you got to be tactical. You got to go for these very hard shots in a certain order in order to even qualify. And then the Raptor multi-ball, you shoot this a bunch of times to set it up, and then you hit it a bunch more times to activate it. So let's play a quick game and see how far we can get. I waxed the playfield, which just makes it insanely even faster. So let's see what we can do.
To Jurassic Park.
Alright, so I've started a paddock mode. So now I'm going to be rescuing people.
Systems. They're all going
3
down.
people that need
I
to be
can't
rescued.
get this system back without Dennis Nedry.
I went to the
Where's
left because the
Nedry?
truck is facing to the
Get
left.
him here now.
Oh, this is hard. Okay. Ah! So T-Rex is qualified. See if I can get a shot for that. Ah!
Shoot the set trap target.
Oh, and there it goes. Not a good first ball. Ah.
That was a close call.
One guy rescued. Oh, that could have given me one, but it didn't. Let's see if I can hit that set trap. Nope. Last rescue shot is over there. I'll do a post transfer. There it is. I also got the C in Chaos, so there's one more rescue over there. I'm gonna try to shoot the T-Rex shot. Oh, come on. Ah! This is pathetic. Let's go for that A. Ah! Such a tough shot. Oh! See, you need some of those shots, and they're just so hard. So, not a particularly good example of gameplay, and it's my own fault because I waxed the machine, and I should know that when you wax these newer games, they play really crazy. They're even faster than they are normally. So, once the wax wears down a little bit, it'll probably play a little bit smoother. I'm going to wrap it up and leave this at that. Do I like the game? I do like the game. It's a very hard, frustrating game, and it's going to take a lot of tactical play to really work it. I've managed to get maybe halfway through the paddocks. It's very, very hard. So this is a game I think that shooters and hardcore players are going to like. Casual players may be a little bit more frustrated with it. But it is a good game, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the code progresses and all the other things that they add to it. So kudos to Stern and Keith Elwin for making another really fun game. And until next time, visit pinballhelp.com, and thanks for watching.